I think we have some people that are satisfied. Well, not 100% satisfied, but are decently satisfied with this last episode, Falcon and Winter Soldier. It was episode 5. Joining me today is the Life Game Rangers of Current Culture. Is me, the living legend Larry, that good brother B. Avery. B. Avery, how you doing, my brother?
I'm doing pretty good, sir. I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm hanging tough, my brother. Living legend, how you feeling tonight?
I'm good, man. I just got done eating dinner, full belly. I made some chocolate chip cookies, some oatmeal chocolate chip cookies. So I'm feeling good.
Man, you why are you showing two brothers who working on their cuts for the slut?
You know what I'm saying? It
does oatmeal cookies and shit, man. Then you eating it all sexy. We don't care. There's nothing sexy about a grown man eating a cookie in front of other men. We don't want to see that.
I'm struggling, man. My cheat day not till tomorrow either. You making it hard on me, Larry.
And my one cheat. See, B. Avery, my split is I get a cheat day. Then the next day I get a cheat couple of hours. So today was cheat meal, and Sunday I get a window of 3 hours to do some dirty work. But
tomorrow I'm eating like a pig all day. And just for Saturday, and then I'm back on it. So
I need to get down with y'all because I've been on like a cheat decade.
Damn. Bro, you just be happy you ain't on my 600-pound life, bro, because the cheat decade to get you on that kind of show. That's for real. Let me shout out.
The cookies do look good, though. You know.
What'd you say?
I said his cookies do look good.
Yeah. They look tasty, man. I mean, hey, you know, that's another way you could snag yourself a good woman. Make up some good desserts for a woman, boy.
Mm-hmm.
Keep her for life. Let me shout out the people in the building. We got Tressa C, Alex, Mark, Mike Willie, Support Gaming. As the people are coming in, we're going to get this thing started because there's a lot to unravel. B. Avery and my folk, Larry, let's start with the opening fight scene, of which I'm glad that Falcon didn't really get his ass beat, but instead he broke her arm. Boy.
I am Captain America.
That dude was cool for a couple of puffs.
Man, look, he about as crazy as Wanda was, maybe even worse now. What? Can I ask y'all a question?
What's up?
When Sam was on the bottom of him, getting his wings torn off, why was he screaming like the wings was literally attached to his body?
I don't know. I don't know. I thought he was being choked out at first. I thought John was choking him. But that's a good question, man. I don't have an answer for you. I don't know.
Larry, before I give it to you, let me shout out D Weave, who has sent us a $9.99.
Madison strong.
Coming on in, yeah. And then we also got my folk Mike Willie. I'm very grateful to both of y'all. And when y'all give us super chats like that, you allow me to network with other content creators and my subscribers who are trying to build their channels. And I take that time and work with those people to keep bringing you guys solid content. But Larry, what'd you think about that opening fight scene?
That opening fight scene was dope, man. It was like you saw Bucky getting it in and then getting slapped around a little bit. I think he needs the right motivation because I think Bucky holds back when he fights sometimes because he's worried about going back into his Winter Soldier mindset. But when he was about to take Sam out, Bucky was like, oh, hells to the no. He was like, that's my man's in them, and came up on him.
Now, we learned so much about more of the psyche of Bucky. Before I go too deep into Bucky, in this fight, U.S. agent figured out a way to kind of zero that arm out. So for me, it was a paradox. U.S. agent figured out a way to zero down Bucky's arm. And then after that, Sam said, come here, give me that arm. If you don't want to let go of the shield, I'm going to take it and snap that son of a bitch in half. And
yeah, he did.
I was like, way to go, Falcon. You're not playing by. How far off the cliff do you feel U.S. Agent Walker has gone at this point?
If he hasn't jumped off, he at the tippy-toe edge, you know. I think he is going to fall off the cliff. I mean, first I just got to say, the guy is an amazing actor. He acted his ass
really
off
is.
Yes.
this episode.
Yes.
I
Because
mean,
we fully hate him, and that's
We
amazing.
hate him.
you know, he was like, just from the very beginning, even when he wasn't talking, just showing him emote with his body language, I was loving. You know, as he was choking Sam out or pulling the wings off. Oh yeah, I'm a captain. I'm like, this guy is a lunatic. You know, and then I don't want to jump, but you know, the court scene, which we'll get to, you know, he acted well there. But great job. But yeah, he is falling off the edge. And can I keep going about how I feel about the scene?
You can jump and interweave. See, we don't have to do this show like the other show. You can jump and interweave how you want to.
Okay,
Both of y'all.
So the fight scene, I really liked how at this point in time I've seen it twice.
Okay.
You know, and I feel strictly just about the episode. I was impressed with it. I liked it. I think it's the second best episode of the season so far.
Second best?
Second best. Second best.
Okay.
The first best is episode 4.
Okay.
The last episode. But I was saying to myself, yeah, it's not as exciting as episode 4. But the second time I saw it, I appreciated it much more. It meant much more to me. I like it much more the second time around. And so episode 4 is number 1 for me. Episode 5 right here is number 2 for me. But initially I was like, you know what? I wish I could have saw more of the aftermath of them filming the camera of him killing the person. And, you know, just like, oh my gosh, what's going on? But it just jumped to him running in that warehouse. But I mean, that's cool. I like that this was right. It picked up right after that. I like the fight scene overall. I thought it was dope. I like I said, his acting. It was really cool to see Sam use his wings, because every time he uses his wings in a hand-to-hand fight, he uses it in a different way that I haven't seen before. So like literally every time I see him fight, he's doing something new. And I like that. It keeps it really fresh, because he extended his wings and like swept a walker and he fell. And that's when he was like, John, this is not you. And I thought that was like pretty dope. And it was world choreographed. I like how he used the little rope to his little grappling hook to try to take the shit away. That was dope too. My only setback here, my only gripe is I think that they struggled a bit too much with John Walker. You know,
I do too.
I feel some type of way about that. You know what I'm saying?
I was okay with that, B. Avery.
Huh?
I'm okay with that, because let's not forget how badass John Walker was without the serum. And now he's all of that with the serum. So, I mean, the dude would be seriously hard to handle.
Right. But Bucky.
Worse than Bucky.
Bucky has a vibranium arm and a super soldier serum too.
And he's the Winter Soldier.
Tied with Sam. It's 2 versus 1. So
Right.
it's
No, I feel you, but think about like the first. I think it was the second episode. Think about how bad John Walker was when they were fighting on top of that that big rig, and they were going at it, and he was getting with Sam and Bucky and the other dudes. I mean, he was getting with everybody at the same time.
Well,
and
that
dude
was my
didn't
least
even have
favorite
the serum.
That was my least favorite episode of the show.
No,
Man,
right, but dude did not even have the serum, and now he has that serum. So even though Bucky's a super soldier with a vibranium arm, he's still, I mean, let's still take it down. The dude lost, but because he was so badass to begin with, and now all that badassness is enhanced with super soldier serum, he's going to be that much more difficult to deal with.
The thing about this though, yes, he was a trained fighting badass, but so was Winter Soldier. But before he was the Winter Soldier, he was a soldier as well. You know what I'm saying?
I think Bucky holds back when he fights.
I didn't see U.S. Agent being as badass fight in the first scene. You must saw something I ain't see, because I saw him get his ass beat too by the flag smashers. So
he hit him a few times with the shield, but I mean it wasn't a horrible scene, but I know they're gonna fight again. Like Sam is gonna fight John Walker again, and of course Sam is gonna win, but because he's gonna have vibranium wings or vibranium suit now.
You better believe it.
You know, versus
let me go ahead and pull it up for you. You better believe it.
Yeah, versus John Walker's do-it-yourself shield, his great value shield. You know.
see what
Somebody, I think Moochie said that earlier in my
I
chat.
got jokes. I wrote a whole slew of jokes, and you already see this. Why I don't let people jump ahead, because sometimes y'all be getting my. I got look, I wrote jokes that I got right here on this paper.
My
I was
bad.
talking about taking a trash can lid, putting his damn mouth up there, like he gonna do something with it. That ain't gonna be nothing but for putting the top on Sesame Street's dumpster character.
You know
what
what I'm
the hell?
I mean, dude's got a bootleg. He's got a bootleg shield, man.
Not only that, fellas, but why did they have to give you the Iron Man feel as if he's putting together a piece of Iron Man work the way Iron Man did in that cave? I got nothing but Iron Man vibes from this whole entire scene. While he's putting together,
he's up there embedding his medals of honor in there.
Yes, man.
I thought that was pretty cool. Oh, and shout out to Moochie in the chat, because I got that comment from her. The great value shield. So I got to give credit where credit is due.
Moochie, the Moochie. So this is the quagmire we NBA. Let me pump my brakes. Let me get on through this a little more. Then we go free ball on it. Larry, overall, how did you feel about the episode?
Oh, I was happy. I was like, honestly, I was feeling like if this would have been episode 2 and then moved episode 4 to 3, and then they just kept progressing on, this series would be the best series that I have watched. This would have been better than WandaVision at this point if they would have done that. But episode 4 was dope. Episode 5 was giving us the stuff that they said they were going to give us the whole season as far as dealing with race and stuff. If they just would have moved that up, if they would have even though they couldn't have maybe have moved up the story as far as getting Sam the Shield and all, but they could have moved the racial components of it up further in the series, like episode 2. I think I would have been loving this show right now I'm loving it right now moving forward, but I would have loved it as an entire series, you know?
Okay. Right.
And my bad. That was actually Zia Latrice that gave me that comment. I'm sorry, Zia. My fault.
Zia Latrice.
My bad.
Zia Latrice.
Hey,
Zia
man.
Latrice. Zia Latrice.
Hey, man, you got to watch her. She got jokes too, B.A. You got to watch her.
So Larry, you saying that you just wish they would have, I just want to make sure I understand, the racial stuff they're addressing now, you just wanted it to be earlier in the season, basically.
Yeah, because I feel like what they had promised us before the season even started, what they kept saying how they were going to deal with race and all this, I feel like they really started to deliver on that in this episode, in episode 5. And I feel like if they would have gave us, like, episode 1 was fine. They gave us the introduction. They brought us into the series. That's fine. And then if they would have, boom, episode 2 hit us what we got in this episode, that level of dealing with race in episode 2, I think it really would have set the tone. So moving forward, maybe people would have been looking for it. Maybe they would have been feeling it a little bit more. And I think it would have put me in a much more receptive tone for the series, because now I'm sort of like in the mindset of you have to win me back versus I was open and ready to love you. Now I feel like you have to win me back. Like I feel like I've been cheated on. You have to prove yourself to me now. You know?
Okay.
I got you.
Fellas, I'm gonna move y'all to the next scene. Basically, after they get the shield back, it's still got the blood on it from Agent Walker destroying the flash catcher.
Coming, homie.
Oh man, I'm not even on that screen. Oh man, fill more pockets. Look, I love that name too. You can fill my pockets all you want to. We appreciate the super chat. You know I spread the love. You know I try to network with my subscribers, bring in new people, keep them coming, man. We're very, very grateful.
Don't miss the one before that.
And that was William Lawrence. I appreciate that, Will Lawrence. Big time. You know? Big time coming through for the fellas. We appreciate you guys showing us love.
Bucky with the good hair.
Oh, look. Man, don't y'all start this mess tonight.
Somebody said Walker with his Fisher-Price shield.
So what they did was oh my God, did y'all call the man a Fisher? Man, golly. Golly. So Bucky drops the shield next to Falcon. Falcon gets up, goes back to home base with the shield, and he gives his broken wings to Torres, who is going to eventually become the next Falcon, following the comic books. B. Avery, how are you feeling about the way they're taking that story arc with Torres. Now, I could be wrong. Something in my heart, I got a feeling Torres is going to become a villain, even though he's not supposed to be. He's supposed to be the next Falcon. There's just something about him. He's just too goody-goody. But B. Avery, what do you think about the dynamic between this Torres and Falcon? He told him just keep the wings.
Well, first, I gotta say I kind of understand where you're coming from. I can kind of see that too. I hope it doesn't happen, but I know exactly how you feel.
Okay.
But as far as Sam telling the keeper, I just thought it was perfect. I thought that was a very good, easy transition, good segue. It makes perfect sense to me. As soon as I saw it, I was just like, man, I guess he's gonna be the new Falcon, like in the comics. But what also stood out to me about the scene though is like Sam, it seemed like Sam really just don't care about being a superhero per se, because he was just so quick to get rid of the wing, like, keep it. You know what I'm saying? I don't need them. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go out and do my thing. He wasn't like, oh my God, I lost my power. What I'm nothing now. It was nothing like that. So I like that about his character.
Okay. Larry, how'd you feel about that scene?
Well, first, if we're going back to the scene, you start which part? Because we started off where you had to show the shields laying there with all the.
Either one. Pick either one.
Well, I want to say first that one scene where Bucky sort of threw the shield down was basically like, look, don't give it up again. We fought and got this thing back for you. You best hold on to it. But it also was sort of symbolic because it's like here's the shield, this red, white, and blue shield. Like America, a symbol of America with blood all over it. And it's sort of just like, throwing it at the feet of black people again and saying, here, clean it up,
Oh, okay.
That's what it seems like. It's like we've made a mess of stuff. Do your magic Negro thing and clean it up. Clean up our mess.
Wow. I didn't see it.
I didn't get that.
That's how I saw it. I wasn't looking at it as Bucky was being malicious with it, but that's how it felt like the writers were presenting it. Like, yes, America has made a wreck of things, and now we have a black man that's going to come in and do like they always show us do in the movies, come in and be the magic Negro and clean up the mess that white people have created for themselves.
Damn.
And
you saying Bucky is Barack Obama? I mean, you saying Falcon is Barack Obama?
Yeah, I could go with that if need be. I mean, I wasn't thinking of it like that, but sure, But the other part with Torres, I wasn't thinking it so much that Sam wasn't interested in being a superhero. I just felt like he has the shield. He decided he was going to keep the shield, and I think maybe he just felt like in that moment, like, I don't need the wings anymore. You keep them. Like, I felt like maybe he felt like if he's going to do this, he's just going to do it and he doesn't need them. But, we know he's still going to have them. But I'm interested in Torres becoming, his sidekick. And the reason why, Lamont, you were saying he seems like he's so goody two-shoe. I think the reason why he is because it seems like the sidekicks have to be a sort of like an extra step up as far as the sidekicks always have to be like a little bit extra with the personality of the main character that they're sidekicking for. And Sam was always very goody two-shoe and he was always very goody two-shoe and very pro-American and everything. And so when he was Steve Rogers' sidekick, that worked out perfect. He was a perfect complement for that. And so because Sam is so goody two-shoe, Torres being goody two-shoe is a good compliment to Sam. So
okay. Well, let me shout out the super chatters. Ernest Holloway in the building. I'm gonna go with him first. Thank you, my brother. I watched it, and Isaiah made me think of my uncle who was a Marine. My granddaddy was in Navy. He had mental health issues and wanted to get help and was told no. He killed himself. Damn, I'm sorry, my brother. I can relate.
Yeah.
Let me pull this picture down real quick. And let's get this brother in here too. E-Man is in the building. My brother, I can relate to you. My grandfather was in the Navy, went to Vietnam, and still had issues when he came home, just going to catch a cab, just going to get coffee. Even had white people spitting at him when he had on his uniform. So if my granddaddy was alive and watching this show, he would tell you he can completely relate to what Isaiah was saying. But my granddad would also say, for the millions of black people he wants to see do better in the world, he would have went and fought those wars again, is what he would have said. Ladies and gentlemen, we got E-Man. He keep coming up here with all these hot, sexy T-shirts. The brother E, what's going on?
This is America. It's America.
And before he jumped up here, ladies and gentlemen, he popped in with a massive supernova super chat. And yes. I don't have the
I know
the Street Fighter orgasm gift that B. Avery has, but you know what? You'll get a whole lot of that because I'm gonna pop up on his show and I'm gonna have a large surprise for him too. You'll definitely see it then. But
I feel like Lamont, I feel like we'd be remiss if we would say what happens when you decide that you want to put out a petition to recast T'Challa in your E-Man. I don't know. Maybe you get 20-something thousand signatures in a few days. I don't know.
You got the people talking about it. Trending on multiple platforms.
Hey, the conversation that's all it is. It's a conversation starter, and that's all I wanted to happen. People starting to understand. Well, the people that actually read the petition or actually watch the video, because some folks are just like they just getting triggered off of just the title, and they don't see what it's actually about, and But hey, at the end of the day, it's all about just getting this conversation started because, like I said, y'all don't want to wait, putting your hopes. Because I've already seen people be like, "Oh man, Marvel would never get rid of T'Challa. What you mean? Marvel would never do that." I can't say what I want to say, but I'm gonna just say you don't want to know what I've found out, and there's a strong reason why I wanted this petition to happen.
Okay,
I'll leave it at that. Leave it at that.
Cool. Overall thoughts on this particular episode, E-Man. Then we'll kind of careen you where we're at.
Yeah,
as we're going through the review.
This entire episode is what I wanted the entire series to be about. This is like what I wanted. I wanted the action. I wanted the drama. When I've been talking about the issue of race, there's a subtext of race, right? Like it's always kind of implied, or it's just kind of like a second layer, but they finally talked about it. They finally brought it up. The characters actually engaged in it. You don't need people like me or you guys to like kind of inform the audience about it. It's right there, and it's smacking Sam right in the face. This encounter is something I've been waiting for. I needed Sam to go talk to Isaiah because this entire series, Sam has been running away from race.
He has.
And this time, ain't no running.
This was great, man. I'm loving when you talk about that, because this is like Sam went there and he's still in that mindset that he's still in the sort of like America's is trying to do the right thing all the time, and he's still in that moment, hadn't fully got it, because he's up there talking about you can come out. I know people, and I'm watching. I'm thinking like, you know people, nigga. You can't even get a home loan, a business loan. You're talking about you know people,
right?
That's what I was
saying. How you gonna protect this man's life and you can't even get a loan?
And that's something that like that's something that right there, it shows Sam's ignorance. This is naive. He's being naive. You know what I'm saying? Because like the whole time he's had these blinders on. He knows what race is. He knows that racism exists. He gets that, but he doesn't want to like engage with it. And I'm like I said in my own channel, it's like, yo, you can't outrun the race issue in America. It's always going to catch up with you.
The race issue is America.
Like it's embedded. You can't take the eggs out the cake. It's already in there.
Yeah.
So it's like the fact that, and I love the fact that Isaiah was like, I used to be just like you. Until I opened up my eyes. So anyway, just overall, I don't know if y'all got to that scene or not, but overall, the fact that they highlighted things with Sam as a counselor, finally, they didn't make all the banter between them actually felt real. It didn't feel like, hey, we need a comedic buddy cop scene. Guys, go act. stare at each other real quick. It wasn't stupid. It was
Right.
actually like, yo, y'all are actually partners. No, we friends. Like, I'm just saying, it was written better. It was directed better. It felt more organic. And like this whole episode to me was like perfect. And we actually got more about Sam.
Finally.
Right.
The lead character. We actually got more from him. So I'm sitting here like, come on.
I'm gonna come back to that.
Okay. But anyway, that was my overall opinion. I loved the episode. It gave me everything I was hoping for. We got Captain Crunch getting his butt whooped in the beginning, and then we got the drama later on. We got some new character. I'm with it.
Let me ask you, because this was my opinion on this episode, and I was saying that if they would have taken this episode and put this in like episode 2, it would have changed the whole tone of the series, and we would have been loving it instead of having to try to fall back in love with it, because we were like, it's not giving us what we want. We were ready to check out, and now they give us the goods, and we're feeling like they have to earn us back. Where if they would have gave this to us right up front, we would have been just like, they would have had us. It would have changed everything.
You was ready to check out?
Oh man, I already said if they don't give us some goods in the next one, I'm done. I'm gonna be like, this whole series is a failure, no matter what they do at the last episode.
Amen. How do you feel about the fight at the beginning, specifically that power dynamic? And because I had a comment for you earlier, and I expand on that.
I felt like it was kind of
shaking his head.
It was kind of inconsistent. Because I mean, like, it totally made sense when. But first of all, I was entertained by it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm always here for Captain Corny getting his butt whooped. I'm here for that, regardless of the situation.
How many names y'all gonna give this boy? He's U.S. Walmart. Y'all say he's got a Sesame Street shield.
Fisher Price.
Fisher Price. Yeah, he got a Fisher Price shield. Yeah.
Do it yourself.
Got a little DIY shield. Yeah. Yeah. No, but like. But the execution, okay, I'll give you a perfect example. And again, this is only because when I'm doing my breakdown, I actually have to like stop, pause, go back, rewatch more than just the person that's entertaining, right?
Right.
When Captain Chad was on top of Falcon and he was about to hit him with the shield, I'm sorry, when he was about to rip the wings off, he didn't punch him or knock him out. He just ripped the wings off. And what did Falcon do? Go watch it. He just stayed there.
No, that ain't all he did.
His ego was hurt.
That's not all he did. That's not all he did. Because I'm still trying to.
You took my wings. I can't fight no more.
Falcon was screaming bloody. Falcon was that when they ripped them wings off. Falcon screamed. I'm like,
right? Why? They didn't even touch you.
He didn't even touch you. He tore your wing. Are they connected to you like spider arm? Like, come on, man.
He took out his soul with the wings, where he can feel what the wings feel.
Oh my god!
If they establish that, I'll be fine with that. But the fact that this man sat here after his wings got knocked out, and he just sat there while Bucky was getting his butt whooped, and he's literally just sitting there like, I'm like, what? I can see if he knocked you out. I can see if he hit you and you just, bro, you just said all you did was your robot wings got ripped off. That's it. Get up, throw a rock.
Oh man,
fight back.
Hold on, Lamont. Did you like the episode?
Yeah, I loved it. I loved the episode. That fight, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I didn't like the fight scene, but my same problem, B. Avery, is the same problem you have. It seemed like they just kind of overpowered U.S. Agent Trash Can just a little too much. Right. Sam, why are you down there getting your wings ripped off and you screaming bloody murder? I know they got to make it a struggle.
It makes sense. It makes sense that him against Bucky would kind of like cancel out a little bit. Like that part makes sense. But I'm sitting here, I was like, yo, every time he threw a punch at Sam, why was he not flying out the building?
I hear you on that, but I give Sam props for this. Sam took a couple of straight-on shots and didn't put him down.
That doesn't make sense. He's going to punch through walls.
Yeah, it should have put him down. It should have put him down. But
even right after that fight, he ain't got a single scratch on his face. Makeup team came in full effect. Like, no, we got you.
His lip was a little busted up.
And Bucky got hit. And homeboy almost put in that cheat code on Bucky's arm. He ain't really get it to come off.
I heard
but my man started looking like those little snake clippers. His shit went down there like this.
You know when that happened. Shuri got a alert on her phone, and she just hit update, blink, and rebooted it with an update.
Man. Y'all dudes, man, y'all be wild on Friday. Let me get back on mission. My God,
I like that Dudley Boys move they pulled on him though at the end.
See, look.
They went full WWE on him.
Oh,
somebody
man.
get the tables.
Oh man.
Oh my God. Okay, y'all. I'm back on mission, man. These dudes is nuts, man. Okay, so here's another good scene. Even though we ragging on this dude, ladies and gentlemen, we ragging on him because he's doing his job. He's doing a hell of a job playing this character.
Yeah.
So now he's basically being court-martialed by the same guy that brought him in. And what is going on here is basically a ruse. And the secret character that popped up explained the ruse by saying that if you would have done this in private, and ladies and gentlemen, this is Madam Hydra, Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Do I think she's the power broker? Possibly. But I'm also, as bad as I hate to take this off and look at E-Man straight in his eye, I'm starting to lean more and more that Sharon Carter.
Yeah, I know, man.
It's the power broker.
Yeah.
I'm starting to because
I think it's the clown game, bro. I think she's pulling some fourth, fifth dimensional chess, man. To be honest with you.
Hey, all I know is every time she's made a call, she ain't asked nobody for permission.
No.
Right.
No. So here's the thing. We still don't know if she's evil or not. She made a phone call to Batroc, who comes in, helps the Flag Smasher chick. But we also learned that she made that phone call to him to get homeboy off the helicopter in the very first episode that Sam saved. But before we jump the gun here, B. Avery, I'm going to come to you first. Give me your synopsis of this whole entire scene all the way until he's out here meeting with Madam Hydra.
Well, first, I like the way the scene was executed. It moved very expeditiously. You know, showing him slow-mo getting out the car, but with the dude narrating in the background, saying that all of his honors were ripped from him. I just like that. That was very telling. Like I mentioned earlier, I thought the acting was phenomenal.
Yes,
I have so much respect for him now as a performer. Actually, I'm looking forward to what he has to come next. I don't know how I feel about. I mean, he made a point, John Walker, and they just. He should. I'm glad that he got punished, but it seemed like the dude that was reading what was going on was like had a personal vendetta or something.
He crooked, B. Avery. He crooked more than an L in some soup. He crooked.
Okay.
He crooked.
I kind of felt sorry for John here a little bit, to be honest. I mean, earlier, last episode, I was like, yeah, you deserve it, shit to be taken away. But I kind of felt sorry for him. I did.
Oh.
Yeah, you know, I'll be honest with you. I was thinking the same thing, behavior. I was like, I didn't think they needed to strip him of his benefits. Like they could have went ahead and discharged him. I mean, I think. See, I had a hard time with the less than honorable. I was thinking they could have just given him maybe a honorable or general discharge or something, let him keep his benefits and move on. But like they seemed like they were trying to create an enemy out of him.
Yeah, you know? It didn't seem right. I mean, he was wrong for doing it and he should be punished, but I kind of just think it was too harsh. I mean,
E-Man, before I go to you, all I'm gonna say is, okay, he came in loving the government he served, and he thought he was gonna be Captain America. Now the same senator that brought him in, gave him the shield, has dissed his ass and left him with nothing. Madam Hydra rose up on him. You see the heel turn coming. All this tells me they're going to follow the comments. E-Man, he is going to be part of the Thunderbolts. We know they're getting ready to do that series, and there was another reference we're going to talk about that was mentioned in the next scene that just leads you down the road that the Thunderbolts are coming. E-Man, take over the scene.
Yeah, I mean, look, I thought that it was, first of all, well acted. I think my man Wyatt Russell is actually doing a really good job in this scene, showing us that descent into madness. I thought that at the same time, this also made me feel for him a little bit, because yes, we can, joke about him and call him names and stuff like that, and that's all in jest. But what's not funny is the fact that the U.S. government does take young people, at a very young age, and they subject them to a lot of things that, in my humble opinion, the human mind doesn't need to see and doesn't need to experience, and it jacks people up mentally. The PTSD is real. It is a real situation that affects far too many vets, and they're not getting enough help also, in my opinion, too. So
which leads to why a lot of them come home as alcoholics.
Right. I mean, they come home with a number of issues, not only just the addiction issues, but like suicide rates are incredibly too high.
Way high.
So it's when he sat here and said, "But you made me." This is part of the hypocrisy, of the US government and probably other governments as well. Because my girl Tessa says later on, or Val, if it was behind closed doors and nobody saw it, they'd been like, "Good job." They would have gave him another medal.
Right.
They would have rewarded him. So it's peak hypocrisy going on. And with her, coming into the picture. I mean, the one thing is, I do think that she is going to lead into the Thunderbolts. I mean, the fact that she knows so much is, I would say, more indicative of the fact that in the comics she's like a triple agent. Like if them chicks are not loyal was a whole person, that's her. Because she ain't loyal to nobody.
She wasn't loyal to she wasn't even loyal to Hydra.
Right.
She wasn't loyal to nobody.
That's the thing. Like, I could totally see her, and she was also, if I'm not mistaken, she was connected to like an all-female team on Shield, and then she also was connected to like the A-Force, the other all-female team. So she could be a recruiter, maybe the dark version of Nick Fury. And keep in mind that, like, in the comics, her and Nick Fury had, relations and stuff too. So I think that, what they're doing with John Walker right now is interesting. He's definitely on the way to be U.S. agent, basically he's going to be a real knockoff Captain America. The fact that he keeps proclaiming, "I am Captain America," even though they stripped him of his title, is indicative of all that. It's very interesting where they're going to go with her. And the other cool thing is, her character is so minor. They can do whatever they want with her.
Right.
She got any powers?
No. She's like Black Widow.
She's exactly. Now, but the only thing I want to know, who the hell hands out a business card that's black on one side, white on the other side? Marv, was you trying to tell us something?
It could, maybe it's one of those things like Mission Impossible, like you got to light it on fire to see it, or maybe it has invisible ink. I don't know.
But the thing is, she knew every minute detail about USA. She knew he took the serum. How does she? The only way she would know that is if she's connected to Agent Sharon Carter. That's the only way.
Unless she bugged him.
I don't think so. I think simply looking at that video of him killing that dude, she knew that the dude from the Flag Smashers was a super soldier. So she knew, in order for someone to kill him the way that John Walker did, you had to have the same or more strength, which you were only going to get if you were a super soldier.
Possibly.
Possibly. Unless you shoot him with a gun. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll go there. I'm with that. Here we go to the next scene this thing has some gems in it, my people. It has some gems in it. Next scene, we catch Zemo in Sokovia at the memorial. And of course, Bucky pops up, pulls the gun on him. And it's basically like this. Look, Zemo, he pretended like he was going to shoot him. He didn't. And next thing we know, we hear the drums and we hear the music. And look who shows up. Wakanda, ladies and gentlemen,
with
shows up.
Jurisdiction.
Take Bucky. But they did not say they're going to take him to Wakanda. No. They say they're going to take him to the Supermax prison called the Raft.
There it is.
And I just took him to Wakanda, but that's just me.
B. Avery, I have an objection with that too. Like, you know good and damn well Wakanda don't play no games. They not about to let you drop his ass off in the ocean prison. And I got a picture of that for you too. They not about to let you drop him off down there. But it's Marvel. They got to weave in the Thunderbolts one way or the other one.
Right,
and this is exactly how they get him in there. Larry, I'm going to come to you first. How did you like this exchange with Bucky, clearing himself of most of his demons by not killing Zemo, and then Wakanda coming in saying they're going to take him to the raft?
You know, I'll be honest, when I watched this and the more that I've learned about Zemo watching the series, the less that I'm convinced that Bucky's a bad guy. I know he's a villain in this show. I know he's meant to be a villain in the comics, but I'm just not convinced that he's a bad guy.
You mean Zemo?
Zemo, yeah. So I'm not wholly convinced he's just a bad guy. I mean, so much of what he does, there's so much purpose behind it, and so much logic behind why he wants to do the things that he's doing. He's not just like one of these dumb people that just want to rule the world or take over the universe. Or he's very intentional.
He's a murderer.
There's a lot of people that are murderers.
Exactly. Like Killmonger.
There's a lot of people, and we don't look at all of them like they're bad guys.
Like Killmonger.
This is coming from the Killmonger guy. Of course,
we know that Killmonger's not a bad guy. Though we know
he's a murderer.
And the Thanos guy. He's not just Killmonger.
One side of his environmentalist. He is just an environmentalist,
and the other side should say Thanos. There you go.
Thanos dedicated his life to preserving life across the universe, and I mean, we just know he is just an environmentalist. We always think globally. He's thinking universally. Thanos he's just about the preservation of life. That's all it is.
And Bernie Madoff devoted his life to making sure people made money.
Right. No, he devoted his life to making sure he made money. There's a difference.
No. He devoted his life to making sure that the people that invest first get a little bit of a return while everybody else gets screwed. He devoted his life to helping people make money.
Support Gaming got it right.
What Support Gaming say? Y'all got to keep.
He got it right. Support Gaming got it right.
What did he say?
That's exactly what the power broker would say. Zemo's not that bad. Yeah.
I'm coming your way, B. Avery. Give me your thoughts on this scene, man. I actually like the dynamic in this scene.
I liked it too. I was smiling when I saw the Dora Milaje pop up. I also thought it was interesting that line of dialogue that they followed up with from episode 4. He's like, "Don't worry, Bucky. I've decided I'm not going to kill you." Because I think Sam had mentioned last time, what about Bucky? Or he's super as well. Are you going to kill him? And also, it's funny. Zemo said that, but it was just a flex because he's afraid of Winter Soldier. Clearly, he was afraid of him in episode 4 when he threw the glass and said, "Let me tell you about leverage." And he was actually ready to die right here. When he had the gun to his head, he gave him the permission, like, go ahead and pull the trigger, and he was shook. Yeah, he thought he was about to die, but he didn't. I also like the fact, the respect that he showed to Dora Milaje. Like, damn, man, I really ain't going nowhere, am I? He's like, ladies, and he went voluntarily. But great scene. It was pretty much perfect. So yeah, I loved it.
You know what, B. Avery, there was one of those things you were mentioning about with Zemo and Bucky, and I think that one part where he told Bucky, I took the privilege or something like that to mark my name off in your little book.
Right.
And that's one of those things where I just think like Zemo's just he's more complicated than just a simple thug who wants to go out there and control stuff. He has a level of respect for humanity and people, and even in that moment where Bucky pulled the trigger and he flinched. It's one of those things. They didn't try and make him out to be this ridiculous, villainous superhero, super villain dude that's so badass that he's not even gonna flinch in the as he stares down death. He was like you said, he was shook, he was scared. In
Civil War, didn't he kill the dude in the hotel room?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's a bad guy. He's a bad guy. Because even though he has a code, yes, I will acknowledge that. But he's not good. He's bad. You can't just murder people just because you have a point you're trying to make. That's just where I'm at.
Yeah. E-Man, I'm gonna come your way, but before I come your way, there was another something that was said in this conversation, and there's a whole lot of things going on around the web that wasn't started by me. That's starting to think that our boy Bucky has a little taste for chocolate. I didn't start these rumors, but some
can
people
we just say Bucky doesn't like white chicks because we started off in this season with him on that Japanese chick.
And Captain America, First Avenger, Bucky was out there. Bucky is an equal opportunity.
He was out there.
Data.
Not in this series. Not in this series.
No, not
he
now.
went from a Japanese chick to a black chick, and now he's got two black chicks. So
I mean, he's woke now.
They took him to Wakanda, and he got a whole lot of W's, including woke. But in this scene right here, she basically told him, "Stay out of Wakanda for a little while, White Wolf, because the king is not all that thrilled with what's going on with Zemo." So, E-Man, you get last crack at this scene.
I need a touch up on her head right there. She looks like she got a little peach fuzz on her head.
Anyway, so this, I mean, like, look, I like the interaction between Zemo. First of all, Zemo is one of my favorite Marvel villains because he is a villain. But it is because he has a code, right? Like, he has a code. He sticks to it. My man he does not like super soldiers. But I thought what was interesting here was the fact that he made an exception for Bucky. I mean, notice what he said. He was like, "Hey, I took the liberty of crossing my name off your list." These two have a very complicated, awkward relationship. And I think for Zemo, he recognizes for Bucky that Bucky is damaged. Bucky is not the version of a supremacist with the serum that Zemo that he believes all super soldiers carry, right? So the other exception is Steve Rogers, and he's like, okay, well, Steve Rogers isn't that weird, crazy person, and neither is Bucky. Bucky is broken because he's a tool. He's been a tool, and I think he just had pity on him. And I think that it was actually kind of cool that they both had that level of respect for one another. And yeah, I was excited when the Dora Milaje showed up. First of all, because of the Dora Milaje and Wakanda Forever. And I like the fact that Zemo knew what it was.
They didn't play the song.
No, they didn't, but I played it in my head, so I was cool with it. But Zemo was just like, "Oh, ladies, okay." Yeah. He wasn't about to run. He wasn't about to say nothing smart. He was like, "I know what the deal is. I ain't going nowhere."
Yeah, I just saw y'all in the last episode beat the hell out of two super soldiers. Not one, but two super soldiers in the same room.
Zemo knows. So, the raft thing is going to be a very interesting thing. I think this is their version of Suicide Squad. You put all these superpower villains in the same place. Something clearly is going to go on, whether it's Thunderbolt Ross that comes in or our girl Tessa, Val, whatever. Maybe she comes through and assembles everybody. But yeah, even with the White Wolf, not being able to come back to Wakanda for a little bit, she ain't say forever, just for a little bit. I think his relationship is still good there, but he still crossed the line by going over those 8 hours. And I think that's the thing for them. They're like, "Yo, we told you 8 hours, give us Zemo." So somewhere back there in the motherland, somebody's upset about that. So he's going to have to kind of like, wait that out for a little bit, but I like the scene.
Okay. Well, obviously, ladies and gentlemen, they ain't too upset. He asked for a favor, and that favor came in the form of a box, and we'll discuss what's in that box because I think it's not even a box. By the way, we've got 150 some people in here. Can we get 150 likes? Brothers doing comics. We can't get enough of these great brothers. Give us 150 likes, but he asked for a favor, ladies and gentlemen, and Chocolate delivered him a favor. So they ain't too mad with him. But now we're going to talk about the scene that all of us brothers felt tied to. Finally, Falcon decides to go. I'm going to call him Sam. He decides to go and meet up with Isaiah Bradley. And they're having to talk. Bradley is just giving this man the history on what he's been through. He's talking about the Red Tails. For those of you who don't know, Tuskegee Airmen, my people, if you ain't never seen the movie Red Tails, check it out. Something you guys want to check out. He's giving him the history of that. He's giving him the history of how they tortured him. He even showed him, pulled up his shirt and showed him where they were scarring him up. He let Sam know that they put these brothers together, gave everybody serum. He survived. He went and fought a war with his brothers, and they wanted to just drop an atomic bomb on the place they was fighting this war at. And he was like, hell to the no, saved his brothers, came home and they vilified him because everybody else died. Basically the same story Steve Rogers had, except for he came home a hero. And he's basically telling Sam, you a damn fool. If you think they're going to treat you different with that shield, and he ain't even want to see the damn shield.
Did you highlight King's comment? That was a good point.
Let me put
Bucky.
this up here real quick. I appreciate that.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Bucky was forced to take the serum by Red Skull because he was an experiment test subject. Would that play a part of how Zemo sees him?
It could.
That's a good point.
It could.
You think so? Even I don't.
I'm just saying it could, because like a lot of people that do end up taking it, again, except for Steve, and for Bucky, like they're not looking to be a supremacist. They're not looking for power. You know, like they do it for the right reasons, and I think that matters.
Okay. I think the reason Zemo feels for him is because Zemo still remembers his behavior from Captain America Civil War, and basically releasing this man to do damage, killing people, and he understands that Bucky had no control over that lock and key, so to speak, when someone would recite those words, and he feels a little probably sad in his heart, a little bit, that he used Bucky to be a killing machine, to be a fighting machine.
Now, I have to take issue with one thing E-Man just said as far as that Steve. Now, I get it that Bucky may be innocent in his taking of him being part of the Super Soldier program, but having the Super Soldier serum in him because he was forced on him. But Steve Rogers did do the whole Super Soldier thing to obtain power so that he can fight in the war. That was the whole reason why they wanted him to do that, so they can make him powerful, so he can go and fight in the war. So we can't even put that same thing on Steve Rogers. He wanted power too. But with the exception of Bucky, everybody who has taken the Super Soldier Serum has done it so they would be powerful.
But the thing is, Steve never tried to be a supremacist. Like he never tried. He might have wanted power, but he wanted power for the right reasons.
Do you think that Carly is
what
trying to be a supremacist? Do you think Carly took it to be a supremacist? Do you think
she
took it because she wanted to try and balance the scales?
That was it. She already proved it though, because she was already
trying to balance the scale. She didn't take it to be a supremacist. She took it to balance the scales.
But the thing is, it's corrupting her. Like initially, her motivations were really good.
We're talking about intentions versus outcomes.
But that's the thing. Her intentions are changing, and that's the problem. Steve's intentions never changed. She literally just changed today.
But her intentions when she took it were true and honorable.
Right, but it's still corrupted her.
Because the serum may be doing something to her, maybe what she's doing is changing. But her intentions were honorable when she took it.
Yeah.
So maybe she needs to work. Maybe she needs to go holler at Sam and get some therapy or something.
She should, but the thing is with Steve, he never got corrupted. And they already acknowledged that in the last episode that like he is the exception and Bucky. So for Zemo anyway.
But here's the problem with Steve, though, when we look at that. And he came up, he took the serum at a time where he was in war. So he had the freedom to go out there and fight and kill and wreak havoc with the Super Soldier Serum in him and do it with complete impunity. Do it with the complete and whole blessing, not just of the United States, but of the Allied forces. And so, I mean, if he didn't have that going on in his society at the time, maybe it would have wreaked havoc on his brain too. And then he basically got frozen for decades. And who knows what the serum was able to sort of maybe it was slow down the process, and he was able to then have all of that, sort of take its rightful place and where it should do and not mess his mind up. So when he was thawed out, he didn't have all that anger and frustration and everything else that you see these other super soldiers with, because we've only seen one super soldier with the serum during a time of war, and that was Steve Rogers.
Well,
We don't know how the rest of them would be.
One, Steve Rogers, by definition, is supposed to be the unicorn. Like, that's just what he is. He's supposed to be the one magical exception in the world of Marvel where the serum works. He has no negative side effects. So all these other hypotheticals don't count for him because that's literally the nature of his character. That is the embodiment of his character. Second, when he had the super soldier serum and he was fighting a war, think about what he was fighting. He was fighting against supremacy. So the nature of his fight was literally against the thing that Zemo hated the most. So that's why, once again, he is like the walking exception on
I'm
all.
not talking about what he was fighting against. I'm not talking about that. I'm saying the fact that he actually had a fight. He had an outlet for all of the stuff that was bubbling up inside of him that the serum may have been bringing out of him. He had an outlet for all of that, where everyone else did not have that at the time because they weren't at war. The only other person who really had that we know of right now was Isaiah Bradley. And as we saw, it didn't drive him crazy either. Maybe because he also had that outlet. So I don't think the serum drove Isaiah Bradley crazy. What made him angry was the fact that they locked him up for 30 years for doing the right thing. So
I love that scene.
I was about to say, be able to jump in on the scene.
Yeah, I love that. As soon as I saw it, him going down the street, I knew where he was going. I think I screamed on my couch like, "Yes!" like in Bison. Even the little thing with his nephew or grandson. Hey, where you going? And to be honest with you, I was surprised by the scene because the exact opposite happened. What I thought. I thought that Isaiah was going to talk him into taking on the shield or becoming Captain America, but he was like, "No, stay your ass away from that." You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Ain't gonna ever have no black Captain America. You are tripping. Like one of y'all just said, I used to be just like you. But he's like, you being naive. However, I kind of like how Sam was clapping back a little bit, talking about don't give me this bitter old man thing. And he was like, if you ain't bitter, you blind. So I kind of like that. And the red tail, like you said, Lamont. And they serve and then coming back with crosses burnt on the yard, and he was like, I know all of that. It still could have been fleshed out a little bit more. It hit me much harder the second time I saw it, especially when he showed all those scars on his body. But I think we're gonna have to see Isaiah one more time in the final episode.
We have to.
They need to I like the fact that he was like, Sam was very hurt. It was a touchy scene talking about Isaiah. We got to tell somebody. He's like, man, look, I'll be dead in a day. Which is very true. And I like how because one of the questions I had, I was like, okay, well, how did he escape? This is going to let him go, but he said one of the nurses faked the papers or whatever. So that made sense. And I like that, but keep him dead. But I do want to see a shrine of him in the museum next to Bucky and next to Steve. And in the final moments kind of show Isaiah Bradley go to the museum, but he got like a hoodie on or a hat and you don't know it's him. And he sees that, he sees that he's finally being acknowledged and like a tear falls from his face or something. That would be super dope right there.
I think we're gonna get that. I think the fact that we were waiting for this scene and they gave it to us, I think they're gonna give it to us.
Yeah, E-Man, we got 7 days. Anyway.
They got time to refilm it too if they haven't already.
Right. No, yeah. I mean,
look, this is what it looked like in the comics. What you guys are talking about. This is
my God.
Like man.
Yeah,
that's perfect, man.
That's Isaiah
and
Bradley.
All the other Falcon. Black heroes.
And look back there, B. Avery. That's your boy Iron Fist.
Man. Oh, this is lovely, bro.
Everybody came to show up to see the real first black. Yeah, man.
So I take it back. He
up in here.
Alive. He don't got to stay dead. He can. I don't know how they're gonna do it, but he can. He can be like he's still alive. You know what I'm saying? Get a parade or something.
And E-Man, I know you caught this episode was entitled "Truth," which was
just like the comic.
Just like the comic. You got it, man.
And
they went graphic, and look what they doing to this brother.
Oh my God.
Yeah. If y'all haven't read that. Everybody who's watching this show right now, all 167 of y'all, that is a must read. You will be thoroughly entertained. You will be enlightened, and you might feel a new form of gratitude toward the plight this man gave in this story. But E-Man, finish us off on this, then we'll move on.
Yeah, I mean,
this piece.
You got your piece 5 minutes ago. You said you felt how Avery Bradley felt. That was your piece.
I didn't get to say my piece on this team, man. I have thoughts.
You want to go?
Oh, my bad. I'll give it back. I thought you was done already.
Go ahead, Larry.
Yeah, go ahead, Larry.
So there's a couple of things that I thought were I mean, I know that in shows they expect us to suspend our disbelief, but there are a couple of things that made me think like, okay, this is probably taking it a little bit too far. Like one, and y'all go with me here, we are in Baltimore, and it doesn't look like we're in like the nice part of Federal Hill up on the overlooking Inner Harbor type nice Baltimore. We're looking like we're in the hood of Baltimore, and Baltimore has some of the most grimy Negroes on the planet. And we're supposed to believe that Sam is just walking through with $3 billion worth of vibranium and no one's stepping to him?
Yes.
I mean, there's enough people out there that would take that chance. $3 billion, people would take that chance.
They don't know what's in the thing.
I think he's gotten enough street cred, like around the
being
world.
An Avenger?
Around the world, people recognize him. I highly doubt any black folks is gonna be like, man, that's the dude that got my mama back. That's the dude that got my grandmama back. $3
billion? Somebody's gonna test him.
I don't think so.
But here's the other thing that didn't make sense to me, right? When they were talking in the house and he said that one of the nurses took pity on him and said that he died, wrote the paperwork up that he died. I'm thinking to myself, this is why it didn't make sense to me, because if the government had done all those experiments on him and they kept him locked up and they experimented on him for year in and year out, and he finally dies, you don't think they're going to want that body so they can autopsy him? They can go in there and they can now do all the experiments they wanted to do that they may have felt it was wholly unethical for a live person, but now they can just rip out his organs and test them and see what changed and what didn't. They're not going to want that body?
Let me explain, Larry. Let me explain. See, when they actually give us our series showing us the backstory of this, they're going to come up with some cockamamie plan to where the building catches on fire and he slips out of there and the body switch or something that. Kind of like I'm being serious though. Like
it's not going to be that hard to explain.
Where Martin Lawrence or Eddie Murphy, that's right. They're going
to do a banana in the tailpipe.
Banana in the there you go.
There you go. Yeah.
I think they can accomplish that pretty easy.
Yeah.
But
anyway, for this scene, I mean, I thought that it was great because for a long time, and I think we've been noticing this, they've been making Sam, the character, avoid race and not talk about it and not deal with it. Not to say that he doesn't know it exists, he just doesn't want to engage with it. And the fact that Isaiah was like that wake-up call for him. Isaiah was like, yo, like I used to be just as naive as you. I used to believe in, serving my country first and, doing all this other stuff, the American way. But he's also endured the ugly side of America for 30 years. Plus that, on top of that, he's seen some ugly things that challenge and shatter that perception, that dream world that Sam is trying to live. I mean, you even noticed every time Sam would try and defend Steve Rogers, he'd get defensive, right. And it was like, and Isaiah's just sitting there like shaking his head, like, really? Like you about to pull the my best white friend card? Like that's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. And it's kind of like he's like, yo, I'm living proof that this country is jacked up. I'm living proof that all these things you think about is like I'm you. I could be you, But the funny thing is, and this was something I just kind of picked up on recently, Isaiah is a reflection of the past. Mm-hmm. But when you fast forward and you start seeing Sam with the shield and everything, and you see the nephews touching the shield and admiring it and stuff like that, that's a glimpse of the future. And Sam is caught right in between those two. So now Sam has to reconcile Isaiah, the past, but he wants to keep that future, his nephews, also in mind. And I think both of those things are going to inform how Sam is going to be with the shield moving forward. He's not going to be as bitter as Isaiah, but he's going to remember that it's jacked up. But he also wants to hold on to that hope, that inspiration that his young nephews also carry as well.
Man, that
So
shit-
I think we already
like
got
that
some of
scene.
that. I think we already got some of that when Sam was talking to Bucky and he said, are you gonna let somebody else tell you who you are? I think he was talking to himself just as much as he was talking to Bucky. He was saying, hey, I get where Isaiah's coming from, but I'm not gonna let him or anybody else tell me who I am.
And we still need that flashback. I still need to see him ripping the arm off of the Winter Soldier. I still need to see that. I don't care who y'all get y'all somebody swole Michael J. White. I don't care who y'all put in there. I need to see a young Isaiah Bradley whooping the mess out of the Winter Soldier. Let's go.
More importantly, we need this scene right here. Falcon pushing him up in here and he getting inducted into this Great America Hall of Fame and with the suit on and everything. That's
I'm gonna start crying.
Yeah,
hey,
brother, I'm gonna Skype you.
I'm
gonna Skype you and show you my tears. I will Skype you and show you tears, but I'm gonna move us beyond this, and Larry, I'm gonna come to you first. Bucky shows up to help Falcon and gives him his little surprise, but we'll get to that in a minute. Did you like what they tried to do by giving you more of Sam's backstory, showing him training, getting ready to wear the mantle of the shield, and Bucky actually showing up to help this brother with the boat and the kind of metaphor that boat was supposed to symbolize for Sam and his sister versus Bucky, Sam, and the shield, and that lovely conversation that Bucky had with him when he basically said his only family left is his connection to the shield. You get this whole scene first, Larry.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you, one of the things when I watched this, I thought was so funny that when you watch this with different people and they pick up different things. My wife said, she looked at this and she said, I don't think I want a super soldier tightening the bolts on my boat. You know?
You ain't never going to untighten them.
You know? But I mean, I thought it was a wonderful scene. I thought it was one of those things where not only did they talk about, we got to see them working together. We got to see sort of we got to see Bucky come through for Sam, not just in combat, how we normally see when they're on a mission, but actually come through for him as a friend. And we also got to see some of that sense of community that we've been talking about with the Black community, where it was sort of like, well, our parents did something. He was saying, oh, you're still feeding all the neighborhood kids just like mom did. And then it gave me the idea, oh, we've done so much for everybody else. Why not just start asking for the help? And we got to see that. We got to see the community start to come together. And we heard people on the phone. He said, hey, do you mind helping out? And they were like, for the Wilson family, anything, I'm there. And then they show this big collection of people all there to help get this boat back up and running. I thought it was just a nice sort of lack of a better phrase, or word. It was a wholesome scene, and it was wholesome, and it was nice to see. They didn't make it corny. So,
B. Avery, coming your way. What'd you think about this scene?
I am mixed, to be honest with you. I loved it, but at the same time, it rubbed me the wrong way. What I mean, and just to chop it in half, the training stuff towards the end, that was perfect. That was flawless. I have no quarrels there. But it's these scenes right here with the boat. I feel that these scenes were great, but it slows the pacing down of the episode. Yeah. Everything from the beginning was moving fast, was progressing just fine. But as soon as we got here, it was a speed bump. Now, the speed bump, it wasn't a bad speed bump. It wasn't like, the lines of dialogue were bad or people were making forced stupid jokes or anything like that. It was all great, but this has nothing to do with the rest of the story. It is a side plot. It is extra fluff. I mean, they're just working on a boat. The boat does not tie into the finale or the Falcon and the Winter Soldier episode season 2. It worked in episode 4, the previous episode, because they tied Sarah in with the main plot because Carly called her. So, those two worlds combined. So it was kind of a cohesive match. But this is just a side story. And it's like, and it wasn't bad. I like Sarah. I like the nephews.
So does Bucky.
I like the whole relationship. What's that?
I said, so does Bucky.
Oh, yeah. So
I wasn't convinced when Sam said, don't go flirt with my sister. I wasn't convinced.
Yeah,
Hey,
He didn't
look.
put enough bass in his
he
voice.
did.
But Bucky
know?
better watch out before he have a Wakanda problem coming to get us, Sarah. He better watch out.
And like Larry was saying, I like the community stuff and all of that, but so it was good stuff. It just slowed down the pacing of the episode for me. So this is how I feel about it.
Okay. E-Man, finish it off.
You know what? I agree with B. Avery on that. I mean, like, technically speaking, it did kind of slow down. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't have a problem with the change of pace. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to have a slower moment, let things breathe. That's fine. But it did kind of drag a little bit. That is the only thing I would say. And the thing I was looking for in that scene, I like the fact that they were bonding. But let's be honest, when we've all watched TV, we've all watched movies before, they could have chopped this up a little bit and we still get the point. We still would have seen a quick montage of them working together, screwing bolts together and all that. And to me, I was kind of like, dang, were we going to learn more about Sam here? This would have been a perfect opportunity, you know, like, because this is his scene. This is his background. This is his family, his town. I'm like, what are we going to do? Are we going to see more than just Sam screwing stuff in? You know, but unfortunately, so the scene, like, look, the scene dragged a little bit. I'm not mad about it. It didn't break the episode. I still thought that, you know, this stuff was cool. The little Bucky moments were funny with Sarah. I love seeing communities come together. I think that's always an inspirational thing to be seen, especially to showcase that Southern hospitality. So that was cool. The training montage was cool, but it did not make sense to me only because how the hell does everybody throw this shield like it's nothing?
Oh.
And I have no idea how they catch this sucker.
I figured it out.
Catch this thing
I finally figured it out. When they catch it, they don't catch it with the palm of their hand. They catch it with their fingertips, like this.
No, that would make more sense. But they catch it under the shield. Hold on, I got an actual thing.
Oh my God!
Man.
He done stole
catch this sucker here.
My God!
Man.
You done stole
They catch
the
it here.
Asian steel.
Okay,
Oh my God!
they be catching it here. I'm like, if y'all caught it like this, that would make sense. Y'all be catching that sucker like y'all Wakandans right inside. I'm like, how?
Maybe that's something super soldiers can do. But
And that's fine.
the problem is how the hell is Falcon doing?
How is Sam doing that? Here's the thing.
But you know what? That was one thing I
fine with
loved
the fact
about
with
this
the training. Hold on. I was fine with the training because in the training he's throwing it and he can't catch it. He
Right.
has to work at it. That makes sense because I'm sitting there like, I don't know how you do it. But before the training happened, my man was sitting there catching it like it was no problem. I'm like,
I think it
what
was
just
because
happened?
I think it was because they was barely tossing it. Because when he wasn't catching
It's
it,
like it was moving fast.
He was throwing it much harder, you know, like he
Yeah.
was really launching it. Like,
and he was
at the
whipping
beginning,
it
he was
and
kind of
bouncing it off trees and
Okay,
stuff.
all right, maybe. I'm just saying that thing. I was just like, it would have made more sense to me if they had shown him struggling with it first, rather than just like boom, boom, boom. I could just catch this like it's nothing. But
So,
anyway,
I
that's
think also because it's
you know.
vibranium, and they say vibranium, it absorbs all the vibrations and everything. So maybe
That'll
it's
make-
easier to catch it
no.
at higher
Vibranium
speeds or
hurts.
something.
If someone throws vibranium at you, it hurts.
Yeah, if you get
the
hit with it,
material
someone
absorbs.
intends to hit you with it.
I don't think that's the
I
way
don't
that
know.
works.
I was just gonna say I like seeing Sam actually train with it and have to
I did
duck
too.
and
Yeah.
all, because it really gave because all they've done so far is just presented the shield and been like somehow it has these magical properties that anybody can pick it up and wield it just like it's just like it'll just do whatever your mind commands it to do, and that's kind of what they showed us happening with Walker, with John Walker, and so it was nice to actually see like no.
You have to work at
something that you have to. This is something that you have to be trained how to do and learn how to do, and it takes some practice. You know,
I'm not mad. Look, I'm not mad at the training. Like I said, for me, it's just the sequence of it. It seemed kind of off, but
do y'all
I
feel
did want to say this about
episode? Hold on, Larry. Do y'all feel like one episode is enough for him to go and take on a major battle next week? Was that enough training with the shield? And he's not a super soldier.
Because it showed. I think it was a few weeks, because they kept showing different outfits and stuff like that. So I think he was there for a while. And to add to that, we saw the trailer of John Walker in the next episode with the shield, and he threw his do-it-yourself shield. He threw it at Carl, and she kicked it away. But there must be some time. I know he has a super soldier serum, but his arm was broken in this episode. So it has to be some time for his arm to heal. I know he has a super soldier serum and that speeds up his healing. Right. But that stood out to me. So I don't.
Okay. I got you. Go ahead, Larry.
So there was. I just wanted to roll back a little bit about this scene where you guys said it felt like it slowed it down, and you know those scenes with him, them bonding. I felt like this scene was sort of a metaphor for their relationship as a whole, because Bucky has talked a number of times about being alone, not having family, and here he is out there with Sam,
chilling,
bonding, and really in a sense sort of becoming a surrogate member of their family. And I think this was a scene that was not just, you know, sort of talking about Sam and letting us know who Sam was, but it was also showing us that, you know, that these guys have moved away from just being comrades to actually being friends, and now in some respects starting to become family. And Sam is becoming Captain America, but also in that Sam is also becoming that friend to Bucky that Steve Rogers was. And even though Steve can never be replaced, because you can never replace one person for another, he's starting to fill that role and becoming that friend that Bucky doesn't have or hasn't had for a long time. And he's becoming, like he said, that Steve was like family to him. That was all he had left. And now Sam is becoming that.
Okay.
Wait, I'm sorry. That comment, you don't need politics in your Marvel show. You don't need to watch Marvel then.
Man, ignore that.
Literally throw all the Marvel away then. Marvel and politics.
In fact, throw all comic books away.
I mean, throw all of them away. Like, I don't know what fantasy cartoons what do you want? Tom and Jerry? Like,
I mean, in fact, throw away
comic books.
Everything that's on TV. Politics runs everything.
Can't hide from it.
Us on YouTube has a policy that drives it. Man, some of us don't talk about it. So you're going to get that no matter where you go.
I mean, you're entitled to it. You can go watch SpongeBob. I'm just saying, like,
even if
you're not going to get anything from Marvel that does not have political or social elements in it. It is. I don't know how people have these mental spaces where they think that should exist. It's never existed. The moment you had Captain America punching Hitler, politics. That was in the 40s.
But it was only problem is the politics they like.
Right. Well, hey, if that's the case, stay tuned for John Walker. You're gonna get your side of politics then, sure.
Speaking of John Walker, we learned that he's also a virulent liar. He goes over here to Lamar's parents, tells them he took out the person that killed their son, just lying his ass off. I mean, just lying to this woman's face, who goes over there and gives him a hug because of how honorary her son felt toward him as he's walking up and down these streets, getting more and more mad that he's supposed to be Cap. And that sign really says Cap is whack. That's what the sign really is saying with his picture on it.
I made that.
I'm gonna give this to you first, E-Man. Break this scene down and just the depth of this character. He's off the deep end at this point, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, the problem I see with this is the fact that we start off the scene, the series, the episode with Sam and Bucky saying, "Yo, that dude was not the one to kill Lamar. Like, it wasn't him." The victim said it wasn't him, but he doesn't care. And because this show likes to deal with subtext and it'll have things represent one thing in different layers and stuff, the one comparison I made, and I'm not saying the show did this purposely, this is just my interpretation, it kind of reminded me of like 9/11 and how that changed a lot of people's perceptions on Muslim Americans or Muslims in general, where like if you saw a Muslim or if you saw someone, wearing Muslim garb or Islamic garb or whatever, you just assumed that they were a terrorist. You just lumped them together. And I think that's what John Walker is encompassing right now, is the fact that like he saw a flag smasher and he was like, yeah, okay, like that's the one that killed Lamont. Or not Lamont. Sorry.
Oh,
Lamar.
damn. Oh, Lord have mercy. They ain't paid me enough to get killed. Damn it. Damn it, Marvel. You ain't paid me enough to get killed.
I was reading the comment from Nita. I read the comment from Nita. She said Lamont highlighted up my brain. Sorry.
Marvel gave me 50 cents an hour to get it to die as a stunt dummy.
Oh man,
I shouldn't read the comments and think at the same time, but no. But I think he was just kind of like lumping all Flag Smashers together, and so for him, it didn't matter. That was his perception. He was like, a Flag Smasher killed Lamar, so yeah, I got him. Now, I also think that that's part of the disillusionment, that comes along with America, because John Walker does still represent a part of America, right? Yeah, I didn't appreciate that, and I think that he's also, you see, it's so funny because you see that he's married to a black wife, he had a black friend, and he's like trying to like comfort this black family. And at the same time, I feel like he's also one of those representations of people that think that they have black friends, so therefore they're not problematic, they're not racist, even though you talk down and condescending to Sam and to the Dora Milaje, so you still have hints of racism within you. And for me, when I look at Walker, he's the perfect embodiment of like, no, you don't have black friends, you just know black people, and you're still problematic in that sense too. So that scene right there was very troubling to me, just because he was, I mean, I don't know if he was lying or if that was just part of his perception, but it was still a problem. But yeah, as Ralph says in the comics, like Lamar's sister kind of saw through some of that, I think. And I mean, again, when you look at that whole video, especially if you listen to the guy who said it wasn't me, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, I don't know. So anyway.
All right, B. Avery, we're gonna swing it to you. Give me your thoughts on this scene, man. It was telling. It's telling you where this guy is going, and how do you feel?
Yeah, man. E-Man made some good points. I do agree with, because everybody in the world saw the video, and the guy saying that's not me, that's not me. So Lamar's sister not really buying it. I picked it up too. But yeah, it's messed up that old dude is lying like this, just showing that he's going deeper down the rabbit hole, the bad one, and he needs to stop. I mean, it was cool though. He's just not a good man. Or especially after this, and so I don't know. I hope the family gets some type of better justice than they got here.
Yeah,
I got you. Round it off, Larry.
Yeah, I mean, we all saw the sister looking at him like, "Nah, homie, you're full of it." And sometimes, it made me think, like maybe Lamar had been talking to his sister and had told her things about John Walker that maybe he didn't tell the other, the public, or didn't tell his parents, or even, and siblings talk about certain things that they don't talk to anybody else about. And so I wonder if, having worked with him for so many years, if he talked to her and said, "Hey man, this dude is a little crazy," or "This guy is this or that." And so when he came there, she might have been like, "Nah, dude, I'm not buying. I know who you are. My brother told me who you are. I know who you are."
Right. Yeah, man. E-Man, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't Battlestar's sister in one of the Young Avengers series? Didn't she break in one of those? Or it might not have been his sister, but one of these guys' sisters was in the Young Avengers, or she was saved by the Young Avengers. Somebody's sister. I think it is Battlestar.
I forgot. I meant to tell you guys too. I just watched the New Mutants last night.
Oh God. And your life didn't change.
Well, I ain't even gonna lie to you. I started the first 10 minutes and then I went to sleep.
I'll put it like this: if the last 20 minutes of that movie was the whole movie, it would have been good.
That was it. That's all you got to watch. That's all you got to watch.
Are you serious?
You're only watching for magic. You're only watching
the last 20 minutes.
If the last 20 minutes was the whole movie, it would have been good. So
yep.
I'll tell you one thing I did appreciate in that movie was the relationship between what's her name? Moonlight, something. Anyways, the Indian girl, the native girl.
Yeah.
And then Arya. I appreciate the way they did their relationship, because they had a same-sex relationship that they didn't make a big deal out of. It was just sort of like,
it was just natural.
Yeah, it was just here are two people that are vibing on each other. They're innocent. They're sort of commiserating over their similar circumstances, and they sort of have these moments. And it wasn't a big stink where they tried to make a big political statement about it. It was just two people falling for each other.
I love it when they just make it natural. Like if they all like each other, cool. Do whatever you're doing. Did that in Invincible too, by the way.
They did.
Yeah.
In Invincible, what they do in Invincible?
We ain't
in
seen
the
it
most
yet.
recent episode.
Yeah, I'm still behind myself.
Oh well, it's there. It's natural. It's fine. It's whatever.
Maybe it was so natural I didn't even pay attention to it because
it's. I mean, it's very obvious.
Wait, is there a new episode out today?
Friday, yeah.
Friday.
Oh,
the
yeah,
one
I guess
today.
I guess I'm one behind that. I haven't seen it.
We haven't seen that one yet, Larry. We reviewed last Friday.
Okay.
All right, fellas. We almost to tail end of this, so now we're teetering on what in the world is my girl Sharon Carter doing?
What you mean?
What is she doing?
Broker.
She's brokering powerfully.
Stop it! No!
She literally is brokering deals powerfully.
They're not. At first, when I first saw it, I was like, okay, she's clearly the power broker, but they're not just going to reveal it that easy.
No.
Why not? They did that with Agatha.
They're pulling a con game.
Yeah, thank you, B. Avery. Because these guys won't let me finish fleshing out the scene. So we get her on the phone call. She's making her phone call. She's talking about the tapestry she's got. We realize she has done set this whole thing up with Batroc, who winds up meeting up with Carly to say, you can take what's in these boxes. And Carly's like, I'm going to turn over Falcon to you. Some people out there, my friends, are trying to say, Sharon Carter wants Falcon to get caught up. I don't believe it. I don't believe that. I'm still not ready to believe she's the power broker. So, Larry, I'm going to give it to you first because I know you usually have my back.
So, first of all, let me just say, there we go.
Woo. Whoa,
there we go. I have to give them a shout out.
Oh, man. Wow. My people. Rob W.
It.
Much love,
Thank you, Rob.
fellas. Excellent episode. Love the show so much. And Rob, we love you for that super chat. You allow me to continue to keep networking with these great young brothers. Keep networking with my subscribers, helping you guys build YouTube channels. And when you come through with these type of super chats, you allow me the freedom to continue doing that. Thank you, my brother. Larry, finish your point.
Yeah, so I'll say, first of all, I love me some Carly. And I'm hoping that in this next episode, we get to see some more. I'm hoping that since the next episode's the last episode, I don't know how long it is. I'm assuming it's going to be probably about a good, 60 minutes, maybe, maybe 80 minutes.
What? Don't hold your breath.
Well, I hope it is, but what if it is, let's say it's an hour, let's say it's 60 minutes. I hope they give us at least 20 of it to Carly, because before they kill her or do whatever they're going to do to her,
she is going to die.
So before they kill her, I hope they give us some more understanding and backstory on her so we can really fully appreciate her, before she dies, so we can appreciate her death. And what's his name? Batroc. How do you pronounce his name again?
Batroc.
Yeah, I really want to see more of him. I like George St. Pierre. I really want to see more of his character doing this. And so I was happy when he showed up again, because it sort of let me know, okay, he's going to be somebody who pops back up in the MCU again. And I'm looking forward to whenever that is, however that is. But honestly, man, the more they keep flushing this out and playing it out, I think your girl might be the power broker.
But
here's the thing.
Full circle.
But here's the thing, Lamont. I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing, because I think as it's presented, the power broker may be presented as a bad person, but I think she's still working for Nick Fury.
Okay. Sure. B. Avery, give me your thoughts, my brother. I already know where you're going, so I'm just gonna take my headphones off for a few minutes.
I'm so confused.
It's your turn.
It's your turn, man. He's afraid you're gonna disappoint him.
No, I don't think she's the power broker.
Oh, that's right. It's E-Man and Larry. See, Larry, you done corrupted me with them calling you the power broker. You got me thinking that my boy B. Avery was going to disrespect. He's got my back.
Man, I have to put it on somebody else. I can't admit to being the power broker because then I have to go and take the people out that I told. So I have to tell people that somebody else is the power broker because that's how we roll.
No,
Go ahead,
man.
my brother be Avery. Go ahead, my brother.
I mean, I heard what you said earlier, E-Man, when you said they did the same thing with Agatha, but they are projecting 10 times harder with Sharon, right? Excuse me, with Sharon right here. So I'm just like, it can't be her. Like, at first I thought it was, but I just don't think it's her. She's playing four-dimensional chess. I don't think that she's trying to get the Falcon killed. It doesn't make any sense. Also, with her ties to Backdrop the Leaper, they're just pulling the con game. I think that we may not even know who the power broker is this season. It may not be revealed till later, or it could be Madam Hydra. Because I'm assuming she wears many hats. So I think they're making it blatantly too obvious for it to be like, I am the power broker because y'all left me at the airport in Germany or whatever they were. I'm evil now. I just
survive.
I don't know. I don't see it anymore. I did initially, but not anymore.
I hate to give this platform to this brother, because I know what he's going to say. I'm going to officially take off my headphones now. I need somebody to hold their thumb up so I know when he's done saying what he's got to say. But go ahead and say what you got to say about my homegirl, Sharon Carter. The floor is yours, E-Man.
Before you get started, can I just ask this of you? The back of his neck right there, I want you to aim for it and hit it really, really hard on this one.
I've thrown it out there. I'm not, after learning from WandaVision, I'm not putting no stock in nothing. I think that she could be the power broker only because she's making deals powerfully. Okay. And I don't see her making any calls to any superiors. I don't see her being like, hey, such and such, we got to do this. So I'm just saying, I don't see any higher levels than her at the moment. She's in this big mansion. She's got this stolen art, stolen stuff. After 5 years coming back from the blip.
If she's the power broker, that means that she was the one that was texting Carly early in the season talking about, I'm going to kill you.
Yeah.
So if she's working with Backdrop the Leaper to hook up with Carly, wouldn't she tell the Leaper to kill Carly?
Maybe that is what he's going to do. She did say that she was going to pay him double. Okay. Pay him double for what? He's a hired merc.
She did say that. Golly, Lord have mercy.
Look, man.
But she said that. She said it.
What is she paying him for?
That's what she said. And why did she need to go get homeboy off that chopper?
Why?
She wanted some Fontaine.
I mean, hey, look. I'll keep the three theories out there. Either she is the power broker, she's working for the power broker, or she's working for Nick Fury, and it's some super deep covered thing. But Sharon ain't as clean as it is right now. Anyway.
Now, ladies and gentlemen,
can I ask you guys a question? Since we're talking about people delivering weapons and whatnot, if you're Sam, and don't get me wrong, it would be dope, but we already know that he's getting new wings from Wakanda. We haven't seen him yet, but we know they're in the box. Mm-hmm. After you saw what Io did to Bucky, do you want to take that gift?
Yes.
Why do you want to take that gift? Because they might just decide at some point when they don't like you for some reason, they punch in the cheat code and you just fall out the sky.
Well, don't do nothing to piss them off.
Right, exactly.
And you're still going to have the shield. How many times have we seen Captain America jump out of a plane that's high as the heavens and then just land on top of the shield?
I think you still need a little super soldier juice in you.
Oh, okay.
To do that, I think. I mean, you might not get as hurt, but I don't know if no regular person being able to do that.
Okay, fellas. So, oh my God, Lord have mercy. I just can't think about this Sharon Carter thing. But so after Backdrop the Leaper, he gives Carly those weapons. She activates her people via the phone.
That was
and
dope.
while those people are being activated, we know that she's in New York for the GRC summit. While they're having the summit, some of her activated people are actually working inside the GRC. They dim the lights and they cut from this scene. Larry, give me your thoughts on what is going to be happening in this GRC. You might as well talk about what's going to happen next week because you already know what's going on now. What is going to be going down next week in this GRC?
I wouldn't be surprised if we just see a bunch of muzzle flashes happening in there.
Ooh.
You know, like the lights go out and there's just muzzle flashes and people are getting lit up.
Damn, it's like that.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
Damn.
You know,
Be Avery, what you think?
It's got to be something catastrophic, whatever it is.
Okay.
Hell Hydra. That's what it seemed like to me. Like they got the same amount of organization. But yeah, muzzle flashes is cool. It's gonna go down. The flag smash is gonna come in there and wreck shop, and Sam and Bucky gonna have to come in there and wreck shop, and John Walker gonna be in there. It's gonna be a battle royale of beat ass.
Oh man, I like that. I used to like watching that in the WWE.
Yeah, it's just got a nice little battle royale. Everybody fighting everybody, and hopefully it's dope.
Okay. E-Man, what do you think is going to be going on?
No, I think it's going to be a 3-way triple threat. You know, by God, it's going to be a slobber knocker. You know, and
he went JR over.
Watch out! You know, it's going to be crazy. You know, like I think Carly obviously is going to go after the GRC, going after the senators and world leaders and stuff. And I think you know, Party City Cap is gonna try and make his way out there and
Lord,
see if he can stop them, you know, but like he's probably gonna want to try and kill him. Then you're gonna have Sam coming through in his new Wakanda wings and you know, Wakanda powers or whatever they got him on. Probably looking exactly like that too, by the way. And you know, I feel like Sam is gonna be trying to stop US Agent, but they still gonna try and stop, you know, Carly at the same time, you know, because like, yo, you don't need to murder her, but you have to stop her. But then this dude is nuts, you know. So I think it's going to be a very interesting 3-way dynamic going on. Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting one way or another. I think I forget which comic it is, but it's definitely I hope we get that scene of US Agent like attacking Sam in his costume on top of the car. I don't know if I'll try and get it for you, but I think that's going to be like the ultimate battle, you know, at the end.
How would you feel though, E-Man? How would you feel if they were doing that? If we get that big scene and Sam's about to get his tail whipped and Carly saves him. And then at the end, because of that, Sam lets her walk away.
I don't think she's walking away. No, ain't no super soldiers about to walk away like that. I've said that from the jump. Everybody that's a super soldier or connected to it, y'all gonna have to die. The serums, they're gonna have to go away. The professors, the scientists, they gotta die. You can't have too many super soldiers because again, it devalues all of the other ones. Like it devalues Bucky, it devalues US Agent. So you gotta get rid of them. You gotta keep the numbers low.
I like Sam and Carly, man. I like them. I felt like they were vibing together.
No.
Sam
literally called her a child. He literally called her a child.
He did. I got something for you. While we talking about Sam and this new suit, we all are speculating because this case has the same markings on it that Wakanda had on the one that they gave Bucky for his arm. Same cover, same markings, all that stuff, right? And we're assuming he's going to pop out in something like this. Is the suit going to be similar to what King T'Challa had on, where he can just think and it pops on him? If it's going to be like that, is it going to absorb energy? And last thing, would they ever give him some of that fruit that they eat over there to turn someone into the Black Panther?
No.
You can't get that with the suit?
No. I thought about that earlier. I would be disappointed. I don't want to say it won't happen because they don't have the technology. I mean, we know they do, but kind of like you said, you can't have too many super soldiers. You can't have too many Black Panther suits.
Exactly.
And I think that they would just, out of respect, I think they will just save something that advanced for the king. You know, just saying.
Somebody said not even a slice.
Yeah, I mean, we'll give you this, but just, you know, not
just cut a little piece of that herb for me.
Not.
Oh man!
Not even a seed of the herb. Not even a mustard seed.
It's supposed to only be for royalty.
Right. It's supposed to kill you.
That's
right.
What it's supposed
to. They give
me
a seed. I'm not taking it. I'm planting it.
But B. Avery and E-Man and Larry, the reason why I say this about his suit is because he doesn't have any powers. And when he gets into a real deal fight with someone who has a little bit of power, how are we supposed to believe he's keeping up with them if he doesn't have something that's protecting him? Something that's helping.
I think he'll have a bit more protection around his body, you know, with the wing glider, with the thruster. I just don't think his whole body is going to encompass it. And remember, he does have the shield now, so he's going to have vibranium wings and a vibranium shield.
Okay, that's
probably,
a good point.
You know what I'm saying? Probably a vibranium helmet or something. And he's going to have some type of upgraded gadgets and gizmos too. So with all that, I think the playing field is going to be kind of even because now John Walker, while he's a super soldier, he don't have no vibranium. Vibranium nothing. He got that cheap ass toy.
Hey, man, look at this thing. I might go get me a limited edition.
No, that whole not bouncing back when you throw it. It's on bounce, clink, 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 and in a circle.
You know,
they are going to sell this for a limited edition. And I bet you it fly off the shelf. You're going to see one behind me. It's got
they're gonna use it as a dustpan.
Or my daughter probably use it for something to poop in or something like that.
He's gonna try and catch it. He's gonna cut his hand off.
Golly. So fellas, finish us off on John Walker. And what the hell is he gonna do with his little weapon? E-Man, I'll slide it to you.
Bro, he about to go on Home and Gardening Network channel and just show it off. Hey, what he about to do with his little Home Depot shield? Ain't nobody checking for him. Ain't nobody checking for him.
I guess y'all ain't watch MacGyver, huh? Where is y'all's creative side? MacGyver would take a paper clip and a pen and kill your ass with it.
He ain't that smart. Yeah. MacGyver was a whole engineer. This dude ain't smart. He just went to a high school home, rec class. Yeah, the shop class and put that together. Come on, man. He ain't on nothing. Ain't nobody checking for U.S. agent right now.
Look, ladies and gentlemen, that is a good place to
make shields great again.
Right.
You know?
Oh my God, Lord.
Larry, a MAGA shield.
It sounds like you saying he's going to be Donald Trump's favorite hero going forward, huh?
He is. He is.
He was in the comics.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's it for us tonight. We hope you guys have been thoroughly entertained and informed. We enjoy putting these shows on for you guys. We greatly appreciate the super chats. Be sure to subscribe to all their channels. Larry's channel in description and in my connected channels screen. E-Man, he's in there too. Be sure to subscribe to his channel. And the brother B. Avery, you'll actually see me and Larry with him this weekend. I don't plan on getting sick again, so I should definitely be able to make it this time. Have yourself a good weekend. Get those live games. Be safe. Go ahead.
Wait, one last thing. If you guys haven't remembered, if you haven't done it yet, sign the petition.
That's right. That's right. E-Man, tell them how they can get to that petition.
Yeah, change.org/recast T'Challa. Just that simple. You could just sign it, share it. Let the people at Marvel know it's a very simple petition. It is not about recasting immediately. It is not about the mantle of Black Panther. It is only saying do not stop the portrayal forever. Don't stop the portrayal of T'Challa permanently. That is all it's saying. It is not recast Black Panther. It is recast T'Challa. So definitely change.org/recast T'Challa. Put it on your socials. Let them know that you care. That's all. That's all.
Also, guys, go watch my Them review on my channel. I'd appreciate that.
Oh Lord, yeah. Whenever you see something where he got a bleach bottle, ladies and gentlemen.
I know, man.
Whenever you see
does that.
When he got that bleach bottle, you can believe it's going to be fire and brimstone. And
go watch that.
and you got to watch that. So be sure to do all that. Be sure to hit the like button. To that next Sex is Hell video, my people. We'll see you.